As we navigate the complex tapestry of life, we are often beset by trials and tribulations that test our resolve and push us to the very limits of our endurance. The world around us seems to be in a constant state of flux, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of challenges that lie before us. In the midst of such uncertainty, it's little wonder that our minds can become mired in anxiety, fear, and doubt. We may find ourselves questioning our abilities, our worth, and our very purpose in life. But it's in these darkest of moments that we are reminded of the power of faith and the importance of seeking guidance from those who have walked the path before us. It's then that we turn to the saints, those shining beacons of hope and inspiration who have faced their own share of struggles and emerged triumphant. Among these saints is one who has long been revered for her unwavering courage and unshakable faith in the face of adversity, Saint Catherine of Alexandria. Born into a life of privilege and luxury, Saint Catherine might have easily become complacent and lost in the trappings of wealth and status. But instead, she chose to use her gifts and talents to serve others, to spread the message of Christ, and to defend the faith against those who would seek to undermine it. Her life was marked by a series of trials and tribulations, from her rejection of pagan idolatry to her courage in the face of persecution and imprisonment. And yet, through it all, she remained steadfast in her devotion to God, her heart burning with a fierce passion for the truth. As we look to Saint Catherine as a model of faith and perseverance, we are reminded that we too can draw upon her example in times of need. We can learn from her unwavering commitment to her values, her unshakable trust in God's plan, and her unrelenting compassion for those around her. But most importantly, we can turn to her intercession, to ask for her guidance and protection as we navigate our own trials and tribulations. For it is in her prayers and her example that we find a sense of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a way forward. In the midst of our own struggles and challenges, we may find ourselves feeling lost and alone, unsure of how to proceed or where to turn for help. It's then that we must remember that we are not alone, that we are part of a larger community of believers who have walked the path before us and can offer guidance and support. We must also remember that we have at our disposal the powerful intercession of the saints, who can offer us their prayers and their example as we navigate the complex and often treacherous landscape of life. As we embark on this journey of reflection and prayer, we invite Saint Catherine of Alexandria to be our guide and companion, to offer us her wisdom and her intercession as we face the challenges that lie ahead. We ask that she grant us the courage to stand firm in our faith, the strength to persevere in the face of adversity, and the wisdom to discern the will of God in all things. We pray that she may help us to see the world through the eyes of faith, to recognize the presence of God in all things, and to live our lives as a testament to the power and the love of Christ. Let us begin this journey with an open heart and an open mind, ready to receive the guidance and the wisdom that Saint Catherine has to offer. As we continue to explore the theme of prayer to Saint Catherine of Alexandria for passing through trials, it's essential to delve deeper into the significance of her example and how it can inform our own spiritual journeys. One crucial aspect of Saint Catherine's life is her unwavering commitment to her faith, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that our faith is not a static entity, but rather a dynamic and evolving process that requires constant nurture and growth. Now, consider how this applies when you face a challenging situation. Perhaps you're struggling to make sense of a difficult decision, or you're feeling overwhelmed by the demands of your daily life. In these moments, it's easy to lose sight of your values and principles, and to become mired in self-doubt and anxiety. However, by drawing upon the example of Saint Catherine, you can learn to approach these challenges with a sense of confidence and clarity. By embracing your faith as a guiding force, you can begin to see the world in a new light, and to discern the will of God in all things. Another crucial layer to Saint Catherine's story is her relationship with her patron, the Virgin Mary. As a devoted follower of Christ, Saint Catherine often sought the intercession of the Blessed Mother, who became a source of comfort and strength in times of need. This dynamic is particularly relevant when we consider the role of prayer in our own lives. By forming a deep and abiding relationship with God, we can learn to trust in His providence and to seek His guidance in all things. This, in turn, can help us to develop a greater sense of resilience and perseverance, even in the face of adversity. Furthermore, Saint Catherine's life serves as a testament to the power of prayer and the importance of seeking guidance from those who have walked the path before us. By drawing upon the wisdom and experience of the saints, we can gain a deeper understanding of God's plan and purpose for our lives. This, in turn, can help us to navigate the complexities of our own spiritual journeys, and to stay focused on our goals and aspirations. Now, Consider how this applies when you're facing a difficult decision or struggling to discern the will of God. By seeking the guidance of Saint Catherine and the other saints, you can gain a greater sense of clarity and direction, and can move forward with confidence and purpose. Ultimately, the example of Saint Catherine of Alexandria offers us a powerful reminder of the importance of faith, perseverance, and prayer in our own lives. By drawing upon her example, we can learn to approach challenges with confidence and clarity, and to trust in the providence of God. This, in turn, can help us to develop a greater sense of resilience and perseverance, even in the face of adversity. As we continue to explore the theme of prayer to Saint Catherine, let us remember that her example is not simply a historical relic, but a living and breathing guide for our own spiritual journeys. As we navigate the complexities of our spiritual journeys, it's easy to become mired in the nuances of our own experiences, losing sight of the larger tapestry that connects us all. However, the threads of our individual stories are intricately woven into the fabric of the collective, forming a rich and vibrant tapestry that reflects the diversity and depth of the human experience. Drawing these strands together, we see that the challenges we face, the struggles we overcome, and the triumphs we achieve are not isolated events, but rather integral components of a larger narrative that speaks to our shared humanity. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer, as we begin to recognize that our individual journeys are not solitary endeavors, but rather part of a broader pilgrimage that is guided by the principles of faith, hope, and love. This realization can be both liberating and humbling, as we come to understand that our experiences, though unique, are not isolated from the experiences of others. Rather, they are interconnected, forming a complex web of relationships that binds us together in a shared quest for meaning, purpose, and transcendence. Reflecting on this journey so far, we've seen that the example of Saint Catherine of Alexandria offers us a powerful reminder of the importance of perseverance, faith, and prayer in the face of adversity. We've also come to understand that the saints, though they may have lived in a different time and place, continue to offer us their guidance and intercession, serving as beacons of hope and inspiration in our own struggles. As we pivot towards the final reflection, let us not forget that the wisdom of the saints is not a static entity, but rather a living and breathing guide that is constantly evolving and adapting to the needs of the present moment. In the same way that a river flows smoothly over its rocky bed, shaping and molding the landscape around it, our individual experiences, though unique, are part of a larger flow that is constantly in motion. As we navigate the twists and turns of our own spiritual journeys, we must remember that we are not alone, that our struggles and triumphs are part of a larger narrative that is shared by countless others. This realization can be both comforting and daunting, as we come to understand that our individual stories are not just personal, but also part of a larger tapestry that reflects the diversity and complexity of the human experience. As we draw closer to the final conclusion, let us not lose sight of the fact that our individual journeys are not just about personal growth and self-discovery, but also about the ways in which we can contribute to the larger narrative of the collective. By recognizing the interconnectedness of our experiences, we can begin to see that our individual struggles and triumphs are not isolated events, but rather part of a larger flow that is constantly in motion. This realization can be both empowering and humbling, as we come to understand that our individual stories are not just personal, but also part of a larger tapestry that reflects the diversity and complexity of the human experience. As we conclude our exploration of the theme of prayer to Saint Catherine of Alexandria for passing through trials, we are left with a profound sense of conviction and a renewed commitment to our faith. The example of this saint, who faced countless challenges with unwavering courage and perseverance, serves as a powerful reminder of the transformative power of prayer and the importance of seeking guidance from those who have walked the path before us. The journey we have undertaken together has been one of discovery and growth, as we have sought to understand the depth of Saint Catherine's faith and the ways in which it can inform our own spiritual journeys. Through our reflections on her life and legacy, we have come to see that the struggles we face are not isolated events, but rather part of a larger narrative that is shared by countless others. This realization has given us a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of our experiences and a greater sense of solidarity with those who are facing similar challenges. As we emerge from this journey with a renewed sense of purpose and direction, we are reminded that the true practice of faith is not a static entity, but rather a dynamic and evolving process that requires constant nurture and growth. This means that we must be willing to engage with our faith in a deeper and more meaningful way, seeking to understand the complexities and nuances of our own spiritual journeys. It also means that we must be willing to seek guidance from those who have walked the path before us, trusting in the wisdom and experience of the saints to inform our decisions and actions. The true practice begins now, as we take the lessons we have learned from Saint Catherine and apply them to our own lives. We must be willing to face our fears and doubts with courage and resilience, trusting in the providence of God to guide us through the darkest of times. We must be willing to seek guidance from those who have walked the path before us, trusting in the wisdom and experience of the saints to inform our decisions and actions. And we must be willing to cultivate a deeper sense of compassion and empathy for those who are struggling, recognizing that our own experiences are not isolated events, but rather part of a larger narrative that is shared by countless others. As we embark on this journey of growth and transformation, we are reminded that the power of prayer is not a static entity, but rather a dynamic and evolving force that can shape and mold our lives in profound ways. This means that we must be willing to engage with our faith in a deeper and more meaningful way, seeking to understand the complexities and nuances of our own spiritual journeys. It also means that we must be willing to trust in the providence of God, even in the face of uncertainty and doubt. For it is in this trust that we find the strength and courage to face the challenges that lie ahead, knowing that we are not alone, but rather part of a larger community of believers who are united in our pursuit of God.